What sort of legislation affects your own business, and what measures do you have to take as a business to ensure that you are compliant with all the different health and safety policies that are out there now?
Yeah, so for us, we come into contact with things such as COSH, which is obviously the control of substances that are hazardous to health.
Right.
That is our main health and safety concern because we are dealing with chemicals. Also, we have to meet the HSE requirements standard to any company, but we sort of go above and beyond to make sure that our staff are trained to make sure that they are not causing a risk to our clients as well as causing a risk to themselves, because essentially we're working on your premises, so we have to work to your health and safety to make sure that we're not breaching any of your health and safety requirements, so to speak. So most of our health and safety is based on the client, not necessarily based on us personally. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So it's about exceeding, perhaps, rather than just meeting the criteria. It's about exceeding it to make sure that you're giving not just a reliable service, but giving confidence to your client.
Yeah, and every single client is different. So, for example, an industrial client would have a completely different set of HSE regulations to meet compared to an office contract. You know, in an office contract, it's your slips, trips and falls, your cabling, your pack testing. And whilst that's important for an industrial environment, industrial environments also have the risk of operating machinery, moving vehicles, places where things are extremely hot or extremely cold in some cases. You've got metal filings to be aware of. There's lots and lots of risks that are present in an industrial environment that we have to ensure that we're meeting the requirements of the HSE standards.
So when it comes to operating in some of these different environments, then that will affect a lot of different aspects for your actual staff itself, even down to what they wear, presumably, on site.
Yeah, every single member of staff that works within an industrial environment has to wear specific PPE. Things like high visibility vests, goggles, steel-toe cap boots and ear defenders. And again, depends on the kind of industry. In some places we wear dust masks. For one of our clients makes concrete products, for example, and the dust in there is quite high. So obviously we provide our staff with all the PPE to ensure that they're operating safely.
When it comes to managing the materials themselves, are they brought on and off site by your staff? Are they maintained and kept on site at the client's premises? How does that work?
So it's not efficient for our staff to be carrying vacuum cleaners and cleaning equipment across the city from one job to another. So we do store all our chemicals and equipment on site, and generally we do request that it's in a lockable storage facility, purely because of the chemicals. We don't want them coming into contact with young or vulnerable people. There is regulations that we have to meet according to the safe storage and use of those chemicals. And also, things like your colour coding. You wouldn't want a member of your staff picking up a cloth and not being aware that that's actually being used to clean perhaps a washroom environment, and then them taking that cloth and using it on their desk, for example, because somebody's going to end up poorly otherwise.
Tell us a little bit about the actual business itself. You're a young business operator. Do you see that there is another level of standard and service that can be achieved in the contract cleaning industry?
I do believe that, yeah. I think there are lots of people out there that aren't aware of the health and safety, especially within our industry and especially of that of our clients. Not many of the companies out there that we see actually take into consideration the risk to their employees and also the risk that imposes on the client's employees as well. So yeah, there is a much higher standard to be met by lots, of people out there. But obviously people have to be educated and be aware that this is a problem.